Welcome back to Podcasting for Financial Professionals. Before we dive in, let me put something on your radar that's going to save you from a big old struggle bus after your next event. You know that feeling after a conference where you've met a ton of people, potential clients, partners, collaborators, but then you get home, life gets started again, and suddenly those connections just start fading away into the abyss. Yeah, I've been there too. That's why I created the Conference Toolkit. It's a free PDF and companion podcast episode that shows you exactly how to follow up with new contacts without overwhelm, and actually how to nurture those connections into clients and partners using content you've already created. It's the exact framework I use to stay top of mind and to keep relationships alive long after the event is over. So grab it now at podcastabundance.com/conference-toolkit. Trust me, you'll want it handy before your next event so you can be fully prepared and ready to go. All right, let's get into today's topic. Guesting on podcasts. In the past, probably 10 conversations I've had with clients, potential clients, and even on podcast interviews, frustration around guesting and guest pitches have come up. Whether it's someone asking how to get on more shows or asking how to find guests that are actually aligned with their vision and good for their show and good for their audience, or whether they're just expressing frustration about the AI email pitches that are just completely clogging their inbox. So after having the same conversation a few times, I'm doing what I advise you to do, which is to create an episode. It could be a podcast episode, a video, something, but you create content to answer this question. So this is my content to answer your guesting questions. Even if you haven't contacted me directly to ask, I know you could use the recommendations and guidance as well. So here's the setup. Everybody and their brother has figured out that guesting is a great way to get more visible, sell your book or your course, and grow your following. And yes, generate leads for your business. And I'll be real with you. Guesting is absolutely powerful. When you're the guest, you borrow the trust that the host has already built with their audience. And that shortcut is worth millions. But here's the problem. And you and I both are experiencing this very likely firsthand. The way that most people go about guesting is completely broken. And AI and PR companies and everybody else has obliterated the guesting scene in podcast land. I can't even tell you how many pitches land in my inbox every single day. We're talking 15, 20, sometimes 30 a day. And they're awful. I mean, completely horrible. They're spray and pray written by AI or potentially some PR agency with horrible grammar, maybe foreign. I'm not even sure, but they clearly did not even look at my show. They are completely glossing over the fact that I have who I'm looking for and who I would welcome as a guest on, right there on the podcast page on my website. They didn't even read it. The subject lines are bland, the preview text is completely impersonal, and 9 times out of 10, the guest they're pitching has nothing to do with my audience or my topic. I host a podcast called Podcasting for Financial Professionals. So why are you sending me your dog grooming expert client? I don't want him. It's gotten so bad that I don't even read them anymore. I set up filters so those emails go straight to junk. And if one slips through, whatever, delete. I don't even read them. I don't know the sender. The subject line does not connect with me. and the preview text is clearly generic. By the way, did you know you could do that? Did you know you can set up filters in your email? Gmail at least gives you the ability to create folders and filters to automatically sort emails with keywords, topics, or even from a particular person straight into folders or even directly into trash. And I'm totally an inbox zero person. So, yeah, it's pretty cool. Look into setting up automatic filters if your inbox feels overwhelming. Okay, sidebar done. Back to the topic. Guesting and podcast pitches are cluttering your inbox. It's very, very likely. And if I am this done with pitches and I own a podcast production agency, you better believe that other podcast hosts are absolutely over it as well. Even if you are the most aligned guest with the best message, if you're pitching through email, you're probably hitting a brick wall because hosts like me have already shut the door. I'm just hitting delete on every kind of pitch that I see in my email. I don't want them. On the flip side, if you're a podcast host, you're probably sending those pitches straight to the trash, just like I am. So you're not getting on shows and you're not receiving the pitches, depending on which situation you're in, or both, because I'm in both seats. So what do we do about it? Well, if you're hoping to be a guest on other people's podcasts, maybe you're thinking like, okay, Virginia, fine, email doesn't work anymore. There's got to be like some kind of platform. Like I've seen those free or paid platforms and they curate supposedly a list of shows or hosts or potential guests, and you just get that email each week and you can come through that email. Sure, you'll get a list, and I've tried those as well. And the other option is maybe they claim that they're going to match you. I saw a recent one come out that I was really excited about, and it claimed that it was going to match me with shows I'd be great on. Those matches are like crazy. Like one of the shows that it matched me with has not published an episode since 2021. Really? Like, why are you telling me to set up a conversation with this host and try to get on the show if they have not even published an episode lately? It doesn't make sense. Like the system is literally broken. And that alone, among other things, really made me lose faith in this like upcoming cool pitch platform that was going to solve all my guesting problems, right? So even on some of those, when they claim they're going to match you, they're still requiring you to go back to email or to DM the host to actually complete your pitch. And you already know where that's headed. Spam, delete, struggle bus for you. So no, those lists and many of the guesting platforms out there are not solving the problem. So some of this episode might sound like a commercial because I have found one platform that I'm really loving that is completely solving this problem for me. And I want to preface this whole thing with this is what's been working for me, both for finding guest spots on other shows for myself and for finding guests for my show. I just recorded with a guest whose episode is not even going to air until February, which is 5 months from now, because I have found so many great guests that fit what I want perfectly for my show from this platform. So not only has it done that, but it's restored order and sanity in my inbox. And I'm actually like really, really happy with it. And this is the only platform I've found to cut through the noise. I started using a platform called PodMatch. And again, this is not a commercial for them. I've mentioned PodMatch on prior episodes, and seriously, it helps. And here's why it works. Using a platform like PodMatch, where you log into their platform, and on the platform, you never leave. You browse, pitch, collect info, look at people's pictures. You can download their headshots straight from the platform, get your waiver signed, and anything else that you need to do to coordinate with them, to message, to set up an interview time, to share an interview link, like a Riverside link or a Squadcast link. It's all inside the platform. So all this messy inbox management and outreach, gone. It completely puts barriers around this podcast guesting conundrum, and it confines my work and my focus within the walls of that platform. So when I'm checking email, my brain is no longer stretched into 8 different directions as I'm okay, client need, potential client question, link needed here, team member question here. Okay. And then, the terrible pitches and being what is this? What do they want? Who are they? No, email is back to operations only. And if I want to work on guesting, I log into PodMatch. Inside PodMatch, you create a profile that reflects who you are and who you serve. You would create another one that is for your show and speaks about the guests that you're looking for, if you're on both sides of the equation. The algorithm for PodMatch matches you with shows and guests. All the communication happens inside the platform. No spam, no junk folders, no DMs. It's basically like a dating app for podcasts, but with a bit more strategy and less awkwardness. So, do I still see misaligned matches? Absolutely. That's expected. No algorithm or AI, because that's honestly what it is. No AI is going to be perfect, right? But when I log in for an hour, I can focus only on shows that make sense for me and guests who make sense for my audience. And that is huge because I am not interested in juggling 50 random emails from anybody that could be a bot or, someone completely across seas that doesn't even fit or is not even able to serve my audience. And I'm actually spending focused, intentional time building relationships with people who are legit, who are paying to be on this platform just like I am, and who have taken the time to complete a full profile on themselves. All right, let's talk about you. There are 2 sides to this guesting equation, and you need to be clear which one you're focusing on. If you already have a podcast and you're looking for guests, you need to define who your perfect guest is before you ever open PodMatch or start scrolling shows or look at any platform. Without exterior input, dream up and write down who your perfect guest is and who you're looking for. Answer questions like who would serve your audience well? Who offers services that you don't but are related? What topics would your listeners like to hear about? And come up with your own brainstormed lists of, hey, what are those potential offers that, here's my lane and here's the lane next to me. And my people probably need this stuff too. So let me have people on who serve in this lane next to me. And that way, we're both speaking to our ideal audience. I'm helping them, they're helping me. We're serving my audience doubly because now they have multiple resources. Do that first. By doing that, you're going to save yourself from wasting hours of time because you'll be like me, I know it, and you'll get lost scrolling profiles of people who are really interesting, but completely irrelevant for your show. On the flip side, if you don't have a show of your own and you're looking to be a guest on other people's podcasts, or even if you do have a show, but you're, really looking for your own opportunity to be a guest, your prep work looks a little bit different. Instead of defining your perfect guest, you need to outline your offers, your core topics, and your ideal audience. Who do you help and how do you help them? And of course, you're going to write this down because you need it concrete in front of you. When you're clear on that, finding the right shows that you can immediately tell that you would be a great guest for their audience becomes a simple exercise of matching desires. If the host serves that audience and your services complement theirs, and, so you've got to look at like complement versus competition. That complementary section there is where the magic happens. That's where collaboration really, really works and feels good for both of you. So here's a pro tip. This isn't just about PodMatch. Think back to conferences, networking events, masterminds, everyone you meet. Many of the connections you make, especially at a conference where, potentially clients are there or parallel service providers are there. They may make fantastic podcast guests, or they might be able to feature you on their show. Even if it's just grabbing a quote from them and featuring it on your show, that little move makes them feel really special and opens the door for you to have more conversations and deepen the relationship. That's why the conference toolkit and this guesting conversation go hand in hand. Both are about building lasting relationships that actually move your business forward. I don't want you to just collect names in an app or stuff business cards in your drawer after a conference. I want you to be able to use those connections and nurture them and grow your business with them. So make sure you get that conference toolkit that I mentioned at the top. So let's bring it all home. If you're serious about guesting on podcasts and not spray and pray emailing, not cold DMing, but actually building meaningful, aligned collaborations and spending your time with guests and on shows that actually serve your ideal clients, PodMatch is the tool that I'm recommending. It is the best thing I've found at this point in time. It is the only comprehensive platform I've found that works on both sides for you as the guest and you as the host. And it takes the overwhelm out of the process and the sorting and ranking and just all the drama out of it by keeping everything in one place. Literally, conversations between you and hosts of shows, conversations between you and potential guests for your show. Everything is kept on platform. I've dropped my affiliate link for PodMatch in the show notes, of course. So I would love for you to use that if you decide that this is for you. There is not a free trial, but you can get started for as little as $6 a month. If you're ready to get off the guesting struggle bus and potentially start making real connections and get on other shows, that's where I want you to start, on PodMatch. And maybe you'll see me on there. Who knows? Maybe you are a perfect guest for my show, but since I haven't seen your profile on something, I don't know that. So, potential matches are out there. And then, of course, don't forget, the conference toolkit is completely free. It is at podcastabundance.com/conference-toolkit. The link will be in the show notes to all of these things. So between PodMatch for guesting and the toolkit for follow-ups, I'm really trying to equip you so that you're unstoppable at building relationships that turn into clients, collaborators, and opportunities. Thanks for hanging out with me today. I'll see you in the next episode.